everyone.
Welcome back to our little podcast thing we're doing here now, since there's no sports that we can broadcast. I'm Mason Molitor.
I'm Wesley Bartlow.
Today is a deep dive on the Cactus League and some of the standout players. Just a couple of teams we're going to go over. No longer 20 minutes if you want this on in the background. This is perfect on in the background. We're just going to sit here and talk about baseball. The Cactus League.
It's in the Glendale and Phoenix area. It's about, would you say 15 stadiums? Just about there. Nothing massive, all contained within the state of Arizona. And it's, it's a spring training season, so it's time for the teams to get in there to learn what makes their team this year successful, what they can do really well going on into the professional season.
Yeah, absolutely. And we're going to kick things off with an absolute heater here. Roki Sasaki signed with the Dodgers on a pretty... It wasn't even a good contract. What's his contract looking like this year? He'll get, a couple $1 million.
Just a couple million.
Yeah, he's because he's okay. This is weird to explain. Because he's younger than 25, he cannot take a full contract. So the way it works when a player comes over from Japan, if he's over 25, he can come in as a free agent. If he's under 25, the team that signs him has to pay the team he's a player for a cut. So Roki will get $6.5 million this year, but a cut of that will go to the Chibalote Marines, where he played in Japan. Now, in Japan, this guy was kind of a demon. He first season in 2021, he played. He had 83 innings pitched, 17 earned runs allowed, and had a 1.84 ERA. Went 4-2, kind of a solid rookie campaign. Next year, 3-2, 63 innings pitched, and then the year after that, 20 innings pitched with a 0.045 ERA. Had a really rough year, and then. It was kind of like an introduction, It was because that was the time between he was called up to their big leagues and in their minor league system, if you will. Mm-hmm. And then you get to 2022, and boom, 9-4, a 2.02 ERA, 129 inning pitched, was absolutely astounding. One of these best pitchers in the league, and he carried that all the way through. He threw a perfect game. Was about to throw back-to-back perfect games. But the coach took him out because he said he didn't want to have him throw too many pitches. So he took him out in the 8th inning of a perfect game, which is rough. But he has been an absolute super prospect this year. He's already lighting up radar guns in Arizona. So far this year in Arizona, he's 1-0. He just finished his recent tune-up start before the Tokyo series, which will be in a couple of days. Which everyone's excited about, let's be honest, because Roki Sasaki and Yoshinobu Yamamoto, two Japanese natives, starting against two teams in Tokyo. That will be very fun to watch. But his final spring training stats, he's 7 innings pitched, 3 hits, 3 walks, 7 strikeouts, 1 hit by pitch, 1 wild pitch. He faced 27 batters. He had a whip of, and that's walks plus hits, by the way, per innings pitch. So a .875 whip, which is really good. Didn't give up any home runs, and had a 2.3 strikeout to walk ratio.
He's definitely had a really solid season. He has been consistently dangerous against any team he's facing. He had a really good game against the Diamondbacks recently. Yeah. 3 scoreless innings. He had 2 actual hits, but he struck out 5 batters.
That's great.
I mean, consistently clocked in the upper 90s for his fastball. He had great control over the mound. Just a great feel of dominance around him when he walked up to the plate. Moving on past him, though, definitely a fantastic player. We're gonna go. We're gonna talk about one of the newer
prospects. Still, technically, he's in AAA. His name is Roman Anthony, and if you recognize that name, that's because Roman Anthony has been a prospect for 2 years now. Been lighting up the prospect boards. He's 20 years old. He was drafted out of high school in West Palm Beach, Florida. He was specifically, pardon me if I get this wrong, Marjorie Stoneman Douglas High School in Parkland, Florida. He's good. He is 6'2", 200 pounds. He's a left-handed hitter. He plays every outfield position. He throws from the right side. It's not exactly as important, though. So far, in his minor league career, he is batting .284.
I mean, he's just a dangerous player to have on the field. He's playing for the Red Sox right now. He's number 2 on the MLB's pipeline top 100 prospects.
Yeah, he's good.
He's been making headlines right out of high school. A consistently well-rounded player and a very dangerous, very aggressive player when he gets up to bat. He recently just won a game against the Detroit Tigers, and he went for 2-4, and just had a fantastic couple of innings. I mean, they won 8-7 overall. And,
and so far this spring, kid's only 21 years old, so barely legal or old enough to drink. He has 15 at-bats. Kid's walked 4 times. He's struck out 3, so that's already good. He's batting .276 or .267, so not terrible on the batting average, but to be expected for someone who's 20 years old and expected to make their major league debut this year. He has 5 total bases, so not a lot of hits yet, but competes well, has very good plate appearances. The slugging kind of low, but it's to be expected. He's probably going to put on another 20 pounds, and he'll kind of fill out his form a little more.
He's got time to build up his ability, his batting average, his just his overall weight and stature. Because like you said, he's 21, right out of high school. He's not going to be the next he's not going to be Babe Ruth, right? Coming straight out of high school, but he's also not bad either.
No, not at all.
He's not. So, he's had a really great pressure performance. He can deliver really solidly in crucial moments, and it shows maturity over what he is now and what he's playing in.
Yeah, his ability to work under pressure is extremely impressive for a kid of his age, especially because a lot of the players who learn the ability to come up in clutch situations are those guys who played college baseball. Because, let's be honest, yeah, the big leagues are the big leagues, but college baseball is insane. Like, if you've ever looked at the College World Series atmosphere and the kids who come up in clutch situations there, that's crazy. Now, let's move on to the NL East. NL East here, we're still talking about the Cactus League. But Clay Holmes, signed by the Mets, went on a solid run last year with the New York Yankees, 3-5, 3.14 ERA, appeared in 67 games as a reliever, had 30 saves. He was all around really good. And I think he wants to be a starter this year. Yeah, he's going to be a starter this year. So far this year in spring training, he is 1-0 in 3 games started. He has 9 innings pitched. So obviously they limit pitch count in spring training heavily. They'll give a starter maybe 3 innings. He's got 13 strikeouts, 4 walks. So he's showing the maturity that was already there. He's been in the big leagues since 2018.
So he's had experience. He's had the ability to gain that, the ability to work through that. He actually just recently transitioned from a closer, more aggressive style of play to a starter. In his latest training outing, against the Astros, he pitched 3 innings, no runs, 1 hit, 1 walk, while recording 2 strikeouts. Over 2 starts this spring, he's accumulated 6 scoreless innings, giving up 1 hit and 1 walk with 5 strikeouts. He's been able to transition really well from his position on the field to pitching.
Oh, absolutely. So, moving from the closer role to the starter role is a very big thing because closers, you get the 9th inning, and you get the 9th inning. That's it. That's your job. Go finish the game, right? And as a guy who throws an average sinker of 96 miles an hour, yes, you're going to be a good closer. But now they're transitioning to the starter, so it's going to be weird to see. Because, you look at the baseball savant. His average fastball velo is in the top 88th percentile. He throws hard, has an insane ground ball rate, is really good at that. Because, the slider, the sweeper, all of the movement on all of this, he is an absolutely disgusting pitcher. He will be really good as a starter this year. But we might see a bit of a velocity falter this year. And now we go from one starter to a guy who had a breakout campaign last year, Bryce Miller, a starter for the
The Mariners, I believe.
The Mariners, yes, the Seattle Mariners. Guy went to Texas A&M, was good there. He debuted in 2023, and this is one of the best debut stat lines I have ever seen. 6 innings pitched, 2 hits, 10 strikeouts, and 1 run.
I mean, it's just fantastic.
At 24 years old. Mm-hmm. That's amazing. Now, so far this spring, 2 starts, 6.75 ERA. Hasn't been great in his 4 innings pitched, but it's also a very small sample size. Mm-hmm. So if we really take a look at we're not really looking more at how they're playing in spring training, because it's just that spring training is spring training.
It's a practice season, trying out different forms, learning new throws, or just kind of perfecting your craft. So there will be times where ability falters in face of trying to do something different or improve on something or changing one minor thing that might be the difference between a 90 and an 80 fastball. Like, that's at the end of the day, it's kind of be expected.
Oh, yeah. Looking less at the numbers, or not the numbers, but the stats, right? His career stats, he's 12-9 with a 3.5 ERA. That's an average MLB pitcher. That's a good MLB pitcher. He will make a good living. But if you look at the stuff, he throws 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 pitches. Mm-hmm. He throws 7 pitches.
It's a very diverse pitching arsenal.
He can throw a 4-seam fastball, which, average, normal fastball. The sinker, that breaks in on a right-hander. The split finger, which drops and goes in on a right-hander, which is just disgusting. The sweeper breaks away. The slider, a bit harder, breaks away. The knuckle curve, much bigger drop. And then the cutter. The cutter's new. And the cutter is, how do I explain this as a baseball nerd? When a fastball is very flat, to a hitter it has the appearance of rising. And his cutter looks like it can rise. His fastball has 18 inches of rise. It is disgusting. It is extremely hard to hit. His sinker, same thing, nasty. Tails almost 15 inches in every single time. So imagine a pitch starting from here and ending at the edge of the desk.
It's just the amount of movement.
95 miles an hour.
Yeah, as a batter, it's just, it's horrible because you're watching it come in. You've got less than a second to register that the ball's even flying. And next thing you know, you're swinging at something that's like roughly chest, maybe stomach level, that's now sitting like on the other side of the batter's box.
Oh, absolutely.
It's like it moves out of the way of the bat.
And that's how Miller will compete this year. The Mariners have an absolutely stacked rotation no matter what. Brian Wu, obviously Bryce Miller, and a couple of other really big names that I honestly can't remember right now.
Yeah.
They're going to be good. They're always going to be good. But then let's talk about someone, and then Miller, he'll adapt. He will be a solid starter this year, always. Let's talk about Lou Trevino. Had a pretty solid year last year.
Playing for the Giants.
Played for the Yankees last year and Oakland. Sure, he was 2-8 with a 4 ERA. But that shows room for improvement because when he came up with Oakland, he had a 2.92 ERA. He was good. And he just needs to get back to that form. He's a middle reliever, has pretty solid stuff, averages 95 on the sinker and the fastball, throws a cutter, has an above-average changeup, great curveball, and a really, really, really good swing and miss sweeper. He's just got to get back to that peak, 2018 Lou Trevino.
Well, to bite in the nub, the reason that he is doing not the best that he has been, because he recently in 2023 he got Tommy John surgery, so he's had a 2-year rehabilitation period. And for those that don't know, Mason, would you like to demonstrate where Tommy John surgery takes place?
Your Tommy John runs right along here. That's also known as your UCL. If that breaks, you literally can't throw a baseball anymore.
And to throw a baseball, you put as much, like there is a large amount of strain on that area.
Correct.
So he is recovering from that. He was recovering from that going into his season. And so his throwing, everything that he was doing in 2018, 2019, 2020 is all needs to be not relearned, but repracticed, reprogrammed, adjusted. And so he's definitely coming in strong. As a non-roster invitee, in his first Cactus League appearance, he delivered a clean inning, 2 strikeouts against the Mariners, and he contributed to the Giants' 6-4 victory on them.
Beautiful.
He's had a very determined and very successful return. He really didn't give up in the wake of the surgery, in the wake of having to get his arm fixed or repaired.
Oh, yeah.
And he's had a strong start, but like you said, there's room for improvement. I'm really excited to watch as the season goes on and as he continues to grow into next year and the year after.
I'm gonna go
how he can improve
into some of the numbers here. Last year, 2 years ago in 2022, he was having an off year to start. His fastball velo, 79th percentile, the K rate, 74th percentile, the ground ball rate, 87th percentile. But everything else was roughly 50 percentile or below, so really not good. If we look at his 2018 year, he was mental. Do you see all of that red? Do you know what that is? He was in the 90th percentile for his pitching run value, the 95th for his fastball run value, the 97th for his fastball velo. He averaged 97 miles an hour as his fastball as a rookie. And then he was in the 92nd for the average exit velo against him, which was 86 miles an hour. That's not good. He was dominant as a reliever his freshman call. Or his freshman season, if you will. His freshman big league year. And if he can get back to that peak, and the Giants have a great pitching system, they're going to be good this year. I think he can be back in that form. You agree?
It's definitely possible. He showed it in 2018, and he's showing recovery. And, it'll take some time. It'll take a couple of years of re-perfecting this form. But it's definitely a very solid possibility.
Oh, yeah.
Moving on from Trevino and his success story, I'd like to jump into one of the more prospecting players. So for the Tampa Bay Rays, Chandler Simpson, he's fast. He's been on base. He's the number 7. Or my apologies. So he's been coming in strong. He has an aggressive couple of first games.
Chandler stole 100 bases in the minor leagues last year. That's all you need to know about this guy. That says all you need to know. We haven't had someone steal 100 bases at all levels of baseball since what was his name? Billy Hamilton did it for the Reds a couple of years back. This guy is all around insanely fast. The first player to have 80 grade speed on the new prospect scale. He is the fastest human being that we've seen, and he will be in Major League Baseball this year. He is going to be insane. There's not much else to say about him right now.
No, he's fast, he's aggressive when it comes to running, and he can bat.
So let's move on to Christian Campbell. This kid, I believe, right-handed hitter, right-handed thrower, drafted out of Georgia Tech, also where Chandler Simpson came from. Fun fact. Christian Campbell's 22. So far this year in 2024. No, this is 2025. I'm sorry, I need a spring training stuff. Christian is mental. He is a great fielder, a very flexible player, can play most positions. They have him listed out here as a second baseman, shortstop, and center fielder. So, he's a versatile man. And so far in spring training, he's only hitting 167. And I think that's because the highest level of the minors he's been to is AAA, but he played it at all 3 levels. He only played 19 games up there, hit 286, so he wasn't terrible at AAA.
No.
But he's also, with the Red Sox, they have to face some pretty solid teams out there in Arizona. So that's just going to be what it's going to be.
Well, he's very adaptable. He kind of covers every position that kind of needs to be done, infield and outfield. So he's not, the greatest at one position, but he's good enough at so many of them that he's just a very solid asset. Now, to round this off, I would like to talk about
Jose Urena.
Yeah.
This guy just signed a deal with the who?
That's a great question.
Jose is with the Giants, just like Lou Trevino. Jose last year was all right, 96-mile-an-hour fastball. That's nothing to be wow, but he's good and he's gonna be good. And he's going to be consistent as a reliever. Last year, 5-8 with a 3.8 ERA. So he's a consistent guy out of the pen you can go to if you need a solid arm. And he's going to be that for you. He has shown stints where he will have one of the best swing and miss rates in the league. But ever since that shortened 2020 season, it hasn't been there. He has been quite poor. He has not been very good, which I don't like saying that because he's still a big leaguer. He's still a good player. But by big league standards and looking at his numbers, he hasn't been there. His K rate is one of the lowest in the leagues at 15%.
He's a veteran player that is really, really good to kind of calm some of the fire of the younger ones.
Oh, yeah.
Get them to be consistent. While he may not be the best pitcher that they have to throw up against, he is there to temper and provide experience and provide insight into how do you stay consistent? How do you be the best player for the longest period of time? And so due to the 2020 shortened season and kind of coming back with a hard start for those couple of years, he's still an invaluable player when it comes to experience and it comes to teaching and leading. While he may not be a coach and he may not be throwing perfect games, he's also not an invaluable asset.
No, he's perfect. And I think that's a great spot to end it today.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for watching. We'll be back soon with another podcast just like this going over the Grapefruit League down in Florida. Thank you so much for watching. I'm Mason Molitor.
And I'm Wesley Bartlow. See you guys later.